literally lost our mind. Now, all of this, Rabotai Kareem, comes because we have no bitachon when it comes to money. That's how it connects to everything we learned today. We think that we need Christian money in order to achieve Jewish causes. We think we need Christian money in order to achieve Jewish peace. We need Christian this and Christian that in order for the Jews to be protected. In the IDF and in Eretz Israel and so on and so forth, we forget who's running the world. I had a Jewish guy on the phone 3 weeks ago argue with me that accepting and actually promoting the church is good for Jewish causes. Why? Because it's the Christians that are actually helping the White House make decisions that are favorable for Eretz Israel. This is a religious person telling me this. If this is the type of religious people that we have today, we are in much worse problems than I ever thought. Now, it's important that every Jew learn bitachon. It's important that every Jew learn emunah. But not just for your own individualistic purpose of where you're going to get parnasah, and not to get into a depression, and not to lose your mind if you lost your job. No, it's not just for that. It's also to know that all of the obstacles that are in front of you are coming from the same source that's going to give you the salvation. When he gives you an opportunity to accept money from a church, that's simply a test to see if you believe in him or money. Which God do you believe in? If you believe in the God of Israel, you will never accept it if it's coming from an unkosher source. If you know the money comes from idolatry, you can never accept it if you believe in God. If you don't believe in God, but you believe in money, then you'll accept anything. You'll accept money from Hitler. You'll accept money from Eichmann. You'll accept money from Haman. You'll accept money from anybody, anything that moves. And that's the problem, Rabotai. At some point, a person needs to do some self-accounting. What do I actually believe? And every time a person donates money to any organization, they also have to do the cheshbon. Why? Because if you're also funding an organization that is doing things that are anti-Torah, guess what? You are also anti-Torah. So if this organization that you love so much, but they don't teach the truth, they just teach people that should do 2 mitzvot in the Torah. Or 3. Put a wig on so you cover your hair. Modesty doesn't matter to them anymore. Put some tefillin on if you want. But if you don't want to, we still love you. Make sure you eat kosher. And just sing with us. That's it. What about Shabbat? No, Shabbat whenever you're ready. What about Taharat Mishpacha? Taharat Mishpacha whenever you're ready. What about learning Torah? You know, like learn Torah whenever you get a chance. What about telling people to do tshuva? No, every Jew is okay. But Torah doesn't say he's okay. You donate to such an organization. Guess what? You're part of the criminal. You're part of the crime. There are countless organizations like this. Don't think that I'm naming one particular. Almost all the big ones are like this. They tell you they focus on 1, 2 mitzvot, achdut, unity, ahavat Israel, some one line that they came up with. Unity, unity, unity. But guess what? They're destroying neshamot left and right. Why? You see the totzaot. You see what they have on their website. They have a bunch of naked people on their website. The trips they only fund ways for people to make more sins against the Torah. The next generation of people, all of them off the derech, not in Keep Shabbat even. I had a young man talk to me from last week in New York. He says, listen, we all went to Yeshiva University. He says, me and all my friends. He says, every single one of my friends is off the derech. Every one of them. Because I'm the only one that's keeping Shabbat still. He says, it all started with some crazy person's leniency that you're allowed to smoke a electronic cigarette on Shabbat. Juul or something it's called. You're allowed to smoke a cigarette, which is not allowed. No one ever said this. But somebody said that somebody said this, and since they said they rationalized themselves, well, listen, the rabbi never said anything to the guy that was driving on Shabbat. So I'm not driving on Shabbat, I'm just smoking a cigarette on Shabbat. That's an electric cigarette. It's Rabbanan. They start rationalizing, the next thing you know, none of them are keeping Shabbat at all. Some of them are even with goyot. Rabotai Karim, funding organizations with your hard-working money that are constantly doing things that are against the Torah makes you a partner to the crime. If the organization accepts Christian money, if the organization promotes Christianity and Christian works, if they even see them on an even playing field, and does not outright say, listen, this is your world, this is our world, we don't necessarily need to go into a fist fight or anything, but you do your thing, we do our thing, and that's it. You stay in your church, we start in our synagogues. Finished. We're not going after your people, don't go after mine. Obviously the Christians will never agree to such a thing, because part of their mission is to missionize. But needless to say, this is happening. If your organization that you are donating money to does not see what I'm saying and thinks that what I'm saying is going to promote hate or anti-Semitism, that means that they're already accepting money. And they can't even see straight. You have to understand, before Mashiach comes, every one of us is going to have to make a choice. Are you 100% for Hashem? Meaning, not just if you're fulfilling mitzvot, not just if you're following the Torah as far as you're keeping Shabbat. Thank you for keeping Shabbat. But are you fulfilling the Torah, meaning that you believe 100,000% that Hashem runs the world? And you're not afraid of anything but Him. You're not afraid of what the neighbor is going to say. You're not afraid of what this one's going to say or that one's going to say. A Jew has to at least aspire to get to that state of mind, to that level of clarity. Because as long as you do not put a line of separation between you and the rest of the world, guess what? You're just like them. Just like them. And if you're this way, your kids will be much worse than you. And that's what's happening now. That's why a kid that went to yeshiva for 15 years, in my trip to New York a few weeks ago, kid went to yeshiva 15 years. He's with a non-Jew for 3 years already. He sees no problem with it. She's no problem with it. I said, yeah, but you went to yeshiva for 15 years. He goes, what? I went to yeshiva to become a robot. He goes, I don't understand anything that I did. I said, yeah, but you read in the Siddur. He goes, I read the Siddur. I know how to make the sounds. I don't understand a single word. So you see, Rabotai, right now, you have to double check. Who are you donating money to? Are you donating money to a place that's promoting Christianity? Are you donating money to a rabbi that calls himself a rabbi but says things that are against the Torah, which unfortunately there are many of those too. Some that say that there's no such thing as punishment. Some that say that everybody is the same. Some that say all types of things that are against the Torah. Are you donating to such an organization or such a rabbi? If you are, guess what? You are part of the crime. You're a partner. And that's what people need to start realizing, because if you're going to already work and not learn all day, you're going to have to use that money effectively. If you're going to use that money effectively and you're going to donate part of that money, make sure you're donating that money to a place that's appropriate. I don't care who you donate it to. This is not like a promotion for us. This is simply to stop promoting things that are against the Torah. Because there's so much money going there already that it's literally not only creating a Chilul Hashem, but it's also desecrating our nation on a regular basis, where you have guys that have gone to yeshiva, do not know right or left. They don't know the difference. Jewish communities do not see the difference. And it's time we start waking up and realizing that we have to have bitachon from Aleph at Taf, from beginning to end. You don't need to start making wars with anybody. You don't need to start becoming an anti-missionary or start battling people on the internet. Quite frankly, I think people that argue on the internet are just wasting their life. One side has one opinion, the other side has a different opinion. Even if one of them is right, the other side doesn't care. So why are you arguing? When was the last time you actually won an argument on the internet and the guy changed? The next day he's back to his old self. The next day he's back to being a heretic again. How do I know this? I tried this 1,000,000 times. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. People do not change via debates on the internet. These public comments that people go, oh, I hate you. Oh, I hate you. Oh, you're stupid. Oh, you're ugly. Oh, but I believe this. But I believe that. And they go back and forth about countless different topics. Whether it's Christianity and Judaism, Whigs versus the TIKKUN, or I don't know, whatever you want to, just pick a topic. And there's countless arguments about it, and guess what? It's all one big waste of time. Mitzvah from the Satan. Stamp. Why? Because if you're wasting your time debating these people, you're not learning Torah. And it's not kiruv, because no one does tshuva. No one does tshuva from these public comments. It's just one big disaster. It's just one big waste of time. The internet is there to distribute information. If you want to write something up, write, post, leave. You want to make a video, record, post, leave. Let them comment until they're blue in the face. They hate you, they like you, they agree with you, disagree with you. Don't waste your time debating people on the internet. Not this recording, not another recording. It's a complete waste of time. Make sure that your time is not wasted, your money is not wasted, and your life is not wasted. That's why we have bitachon. That's a necessary part of our life every day, to know that it's not only that Hashem will bring us salvation, but also it's the same Hashem that's watching us, monitoring us, and literally writing down every single thing that we do every day. If you think like that He's watching everything, you'll act accordingly. Before you sin, before you curse, before you yell, before you cheat, before you donate, before you don't donate, before you steal, before you return something stolen, before every single act, we have to get to that point. And one of the biggest ways that people that are in the business world have to work on is when it comes to money.